ball. Now, they went through their own struggles, and for the Spurs, it's been a largely healthy season. But they finally got hit with the injury bug a couple of weeks ago. It really cost them, and they started to struggle as Gasol makes that 17-footer. But fortunately for San Antonio, they've bounced back here, played extremely well here the last week, and I think they feel pretty good. You get a chance to see Splitter, and you can see what kind of player he is. He's not real skilled down on the block. He's not going to score in the post, but he's very mobile and defensively covers a lot of ground and covers the basket with that length, although Gasol gets by him there.
He had 26 against Oklahoma City and goes across the lane, leading a 7-0 run for the Lakers. Kobe with an assist here, and Gasol answers.
Now Kobe Bryant finding the open man. Gasol knocking down the jumper, and then he follows it up with the strong move to the hole. Lakers up 5.
Break. And 5.5 to play here in the first. Here is Gasol. And Fisher. Derek Fisher, the active leading consecutive game player right.
Well, it's funny, Phil Jackson also said he's thinking too much. And when you're out there and you're not reacting, you're more so thinking the game of basketball, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult. He just needs to go. He's so athletic. He just needs to play.
Chris Quinn
come his way.
Chris Quinn is in. Gasol moving inside on Blair. Under a minute to play here in the first quarter. Lakers have shot 40% from the floor, 31% shooting by mainly San Antonio reserves. Blair picks up his first personal. Here is Gasol. Anderson, who was injured at the beginning of the season. Bonner. And Chris Quinn. Anderson for 3. Bynum is down. Hurt his knee.
Yes, he did.
He looks like he's holding on to his knee with all that activity right around him. That is not a good sign.
And this is the problem. When you're playing these games late, that means something. When one of your guys, your main COD guys, like an Andrew Bynum is for the Lakers, goes down. So here he's meeting the trainer for the Los Angeles Lakers. And you hope it's nothing serious, but the longer he stays down, because only he knows what the pain is in those knees because he's had so many of them.
Well, the crowd here has seen this movie before with Bynum, as Kobe Bryant is going to shoot a technical foul here.
Blair got the tee.
But this is scary.
Hyperextended. Hyperextended.
Yeah. Looks like he
went the wrong way.
Yeah.
He's walking okay, but we won't know it. You know, it's interesting. About a week ago, he was telling, the press that brace had really saved his knee on a number of occasions. Mitch Kupchak, general manager here for the Lakers.
Hey, one of the things that the Lakers had happen this year was they lost a couple of their big men from last year, their reserves, DJ Benga, who was pretty effective for them. And they really don't have the depth behind Bynum and Gasol that they did a year ago.
Bynum will head to the locker room.
2 points with Kobe Bryant and Pau Gasol, 2 All-Stars on the floor. I know it's early here in this first half, but Pau Gasol gets another one to go down low. How long he stayed down, he understood the pain because he's had these knee injuries a number of times. So that's why he knew it was as serious as it is. And obviously, we don't know because we don't know what the MRI will tell us, but the pain is always the same.
Smith to Gasol, tripled inside. That's the Lakers' first offensive rebound tonight. It's interesting to see the coaching landscape in the NBA change before our eyes and how players adjust in mid-career.
It's interesting, Kev. Usually around this time of year, Steve, we hear about coaches being on the hot seat and maybe getting a pink slip as soon as the season's over. This is the most I've seen so many coaches that are worthy of winning Coach of the Year. I mean, this goes down to Nate McMillan, Rick Adelman, Eric Spoelstra, Tom Thibodeau, Phil Jackson, George Karl, Greg Popovich. There's so many coaches that are worthy. Lionel Hollins in Memphis.
Yeah,
well said. When you take a look at, especially
this Laker team does not look very, very safe in these upcoming playoffs.
Jefferson. Foul at the buzzer. You bet he was.
Got him right on the wrist.
They'll have a chance to tie it going to halftime. Lakers, I mean, you can see that Phil Jackson has said, I am concerned about my team.
You know how you're concerned? Listen to the crowd here. I mean, the Spurs are playing without their 3 best players, as well as Antonio McDyess. Look at the time on the clock right here as Richard Jefferson. Did he get it off in time? And absolutely. And there's the foul right there by Ron Artest on the wrist of Richard Jefferson.
Yeah, so now they're going to look at the clock and establish. It looked like it was about 0.7 or 0.8. And good call. And I think you're right, Reggie. I think the fans were not booing the officials. I think they were booing the team because that's one of those little mistakes that you just can't afford to make over the course of 48 minutes. And it's that lack of
Ryan Shaw, and I asked him about the first half performance. He said we looked like a team that once they announced that the Spurs' main 4 guys were not playing, we took a deep breath, relaxed, and didn't play with that sense of urgency that you mentioned, Reggie. He said, you know what? This is what happens when you don't take care of business. Bad thing happens, and that's what he was referring to, Andrew Bynum going down. Also, guys, one quick knee injury update. Spoke to Matt Barnes. He said his right knee has been acting up. He said he could hardly move it. He will not play tomorrow night, and hopefully the 4 days rest that he'll be able to be back up and running, guys.
And Blake has chicken pox, and we heard Derek Fisher tell Cheryl, Reggie, that when they found out that the regulars weren't going to play, that it did kind of affect them emotionally. The Lakers did.
Again, this is a veteran team that's getting bored again. And, when you've lost 5 games in a row against some of the teams, if they would have won 1 or 2 of those games, probably you sit Andrew Bynum for a game like this, but very much the same way Greg Popovich is doing for the San Antonio Spurs.
They lost that luxury because of their lackadaisical play this past week and a half.
Odom now has 6. Before that, he picked up his 2nd personal foul. Here's Hill. He's playing with 3 fouls. Jefferson, Neal, Ware, and Bonner. Hitting the 2nd half for San Antonio. Gasol with a foul. Out there with Artest and Kobe. Derek Fisher, Odom. That's the 2nd on Pau Gasol. So Hill will be at the free throw line. A look. The tip
here was, let's get after it on the practice floor. Not for too long, but we're going to make sure we stay sharp. And that's why they got off to a quick start.
Gasol volleyballs it back. And Kobe Bryant, 6 of 14. Screened by Powell.
Wow. He is so good. He and Pau Gasol on that little 2-man game off the post feed. Bryant working it off that cut and that mid-range jump shot postseason. And I think he's right in terms of the strategy. They're not good enough inside anymore to pound it into them.
Look at Jefferson as he flies in. When he scores, just think of him as a 4th option for this. He's a blue-collar player, is a gritty player for this San Antonio team.
But he can move. He's got good feet. He's going to pick up the foul there. And what you like about him is the activity defensively and on the glass, as you said.
Awful since the All-Star break.
Green for 3. Splitter against Gasol. That is an offensive foul on Splitter. Odom, by the way, now has 11 points. Kobe Bryant, you saw him on the bench moments ago, 2nd on Splitter. You saw Kobe on the bench. Kobe's got 4.
Blair.
Odom to Gasol. Blair knocks it away.
If you're Powell, you've got to be tougher than that. You've got a guy that is 6 inches smaller than you.
Well, what about Kendrick Perkins? As Blair goes in for his 12th point, he's got 10 rebounds. Perkins played pretty well here the other night.
Yeah,
about the same size.
Had some words about Powell and Phil Jackson and Kobe, calling them soft, and Phil is very arrogant.
Gasol.
Powell just brushed it off.
Neal.
I love that Perkins trade. I think he gives,
too.
He gives Oklahoma City an edge. Wow. Neal.
Holy smokes.
Ties the game. Unbelievable. They're shooting 33%.
Jackson looks bewildered.
Unshaven. Gasol.
And knockdown threes. Even Novak tonight has really contributed. And the way they play, they space the floor so much. They're a tough team to guard.
Kobe can't hit. 7 of 19 to Gasol.
Second shot opportunities here hurting.
Over Fisher.
Rough shot there by Danny Green, just checked in. Take a couple dribbles. Pump fake.
3 to play. Gasol was 17 and 13. Kobe Bryant. Kobe gets his first field goal since 9 minutes left in the third quarter. That may have iced it right there. Lakers with the lead of 96-88. Kobe has only shot 8 of 20, but his 27 leads everybody tonight.
Well, the Black Mamba, we talked about a sense of urgency. Number 24 understands we need these last 2 games to get the number 2. Right.
Yeah, and they finally started making shots in the fourth quarter.
That helped.
Odom, 3. 17 and 17 for Pau Gasol. That'll be it. The 5-game losing streak for Los Angeles is over. Home record of 30 and 11. If they win tomorrow in Sacramento, they will be the number 2 seed. Game is tied with 6 minutes left at 83, and the Spurs fall in Los Angeles without